Hey, hello. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody's having a nice afternoon and welcome. My name is Chiquita Lindsay, and I'd like to thank the Reverend Dr. Danielle Wingham for letting me use her platform this morning and all day today and for the next few days. And so, what I want to talk about today is what is your vision for retiring? And when we talk about the vision for retirement, most people kind of keep it simple and they say, I just want to retire and travel and spend time with the grandkids and not have to wake up with a alarm clock. And when you do that, you're missing some of the biggest points about you retiring. Most people don't really know what it's going to take for them to be able to stay home and just play with the grandkids and never have to worry about the bills and the house and everything else that's going to be continuing to go on even when you retire. And so we have to really look at those particular things and narrow that retirement down to the even the finest pennies and nickels and dimes and really thousands and hundreds of thousands when you retire. Because even if you had $300,000 in your account right now, that still wouldn't be enough. And the issue is that most women are going to retire without enough money and have to go back and try to work a second job just to fill in the blanks. And with us women, because we live longer, we may have to do that for much longer, for a longer time than a man would. And so if you're retired and working a second job, how much time are you going to spend with the grandkids? How much time are you going to have to travel? How much money will you have to travel? Would you have to go on a day trip? A weekend trip? And maybe only do that once a year when you had all this time, all this freedom, and no finances. And so, with us women, we have to learn how to leverage our investments so that they can be working for us now and they can be working for us later because we have to actually survive now before retirement, and we're going to have to survive in our years of retirement. So even if you retire and you have 20 years on down the road, will your money last? Will you have to pinch pennies? And those are things of women we don't deserve. And thank you. Hey, Sierra. Hey, Bridget. Thank you so much for the hashtag. I really appreciate you all joining. And so when you look at retirement, you want to look at your assets. You want to look at what's going to move with inflation and not just a fixed amount. And so they have told us all the wrong things, and they have left out a lot of important factors when it comes to retiring. And because we are women, we always think that we're going to be taken care of when really it's not the truth. And women don't really look at the numbers like they should. And I know because it's not your fault, I did the same thing too. I believe you go work a job and stay there most of your major life, 30 years. Some women are staying on jobs 40 years, 45 years. The number one fear of women is they will never get to retire because you can't hardly save enough money. You can't save enough money in your bank account to retire the way you want to and the way you deserve to be able to retire. And so historically, women 40 years and over have underinvested in their retirement because they're too busy trying to live. And don't worry, because even if you got that 401k in your job, guess what? You still cannot put enough money away the traditional way to make sure that 401k is funded correctly. And if you ask me, no 401k is funded correctly because it's not set up to really retire us. It's set up for your company to use the money for them to invest. And so we have to start looking outside the box. And so my mission is to make sure every woman can retire whenever they want to, never have to worry about money. If something you want to do or a trip that you want to go on, you don't have to go and say, let me look at my bank account. You don't have to go and say, let me save up for 6 months so that I'll have enough money and maybe I can go on this trip, but I can't really spend much money because I'm not going to have that much money to spend. And what is that like? You're on a trip and there's an excursion or there's a nice place you want to eat, but you can't because you've already budgeted that money for the week. We don't deserve that. And you don't have to retire that way. Thank you, Bridget. And if you want something, I'm going to go ahead and put Bridget's comment up here. Thank you, ladies, for hopping in. Please share out this broadcast because every woman, your girlfriend, your granny, your mommy, it's never too late. They need to hear this. If you want something, Bridget says, if you want something you never had, you have to do something you never done. Exactly. And sometimes it's uncomfortable when you've never done it. But see, you don't want to have any regret. And so that's why I'm holding this boot camp to wake you up to looking at what your retirement is going to be like if you don't do something now. And so most women say, well, I don't have any money. I can't do anything. You haven't even checked to see how much you need. And I bet who here knows what they actually got in their account? And if you know what you got in your account, will it be enough? Will it be enough? See, those are things you got to make sure that you got more than enough. And when you retire, you never have to worry. And when you leave here, guess what? That money's still coming in. Because if you're waiting for Social Security, when you leave here, that check is gone. If there's somebody else that needs that money to help pay the bills that you left, it's gone. Ladies, if your husband's getting a check now from Social Security and he leaves, there's no longer 2 checks in the household. What do? And so that's where you got to have that vision right down to where will you live when you retire? Will your house be paid off? Is your house too big now? Will you downsize because you want to? Or will you downsize because you have to? Will you have to go live with your son, your daughter? I know you love them, but really, do you really want to move in with them after being on your own and being being taking care of yourself? If that's what you want to do, that's fine. Just make sure you have money when you wake up one day and say, look, I'm tired of this and I'm going to move on over here in this other place and I'll come and visit you all every day. And so it's about giving you options. Money gives you options, and having enough money to retire means that you don't have to stay until you age 60. You don't have to stay until you age 65. You don't have to stay until you age 70. You can retire at any age, and that's what the job does not want you to know. And that's why they put up all these things that's normal, the normal ways of putting money away for retirement if you can, because they know you're not going to have enough money and you're going to end up trying to stay. Are you going to end up retiring and go back to work at the same place? Yeah, people do it. How many people out there do you know that retired from a job and then went back to work? What do they call it? They call it PRN. Oh, I'm going to retire and I'm going to come back PRN. Well, why would you come back PRN if you didn't need to? Or maybe you're going to go back to, you're going to go to Walmart and you're going to be a greeter. So you say, well, that's not hard work, but you're standing on your feet. Haven't you already stood on your feet long enough? A woman's body is not made for that. Even if your job is not hard, if you're standing on your feet, that's too much. Maybe you got a sit down job. How many years do you want to sit in a chair? That's dangerous for your health. A sit down job will take you away from here sooner. And so we have to look into other ways that's not physically and mentally exhausting for us to get out of the workplace. If you love your job, that's okay, but do you love it that much? Are you in love with somebody else's job? Or you really love your job because it's your job? It's what you do and you're making your own money. That is the difference. And even that, once you do all of that, it may be one day that you wake up and say, hey, I love my job for 40 years and now I want to go sit on the beach and let the job run itself. And only thing I do is write the checks and look at my bank account every morning. What I'm trying to tell you is you can retire however you want, whenever you want, if you know your numbers, if you have the right assets. That is what real estate will do for you. That's why I'm having this 4-day boot camp to show you how you can retire rich with real estate, to let you see open your eyes wide open at what you're missing by not using real estate as a vehicle for you to retire early. And it's only $20.21. Yes, 4 whole days. You get to spend 4 whole days with me in live training, special guest, case study, see where you're at in your retire math, meaning your number to retire. We're having prizes. It's going to be fun. We're giving away cash. We're giving away a grand prize. And so it's going to start the 28th through the 31st at 8 o'clock in the evening. To be on Zoom. It's in a private. It will not be broadcasted out live to Facebook. You have to actually be in the room because you're going to be awake. I'm going to awaken you in this 4-day boot camp. And why is it $20? Because you have to have a little skin in the game. It actually is like $5 a day. And so call your girlfriend, tag your girlfriends, get 4 or 5 of them over. Once this class is over, that group will disappear. It will self-destruct. This is a mission possible, not a mission impossible. Real estate is the fastest and the safest way for you to retire and never have to worry about money. And so that is, you're going to learn some things in those 4 days, and it's going to really be eye-opening what you're going to learn, and it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited to be able to talk to you ladies live. This is not going to be recordings. This is going to be live trainings. Go to bit.ly/RetireMe2020. Make sure that you get in the room because it's going to be amazing. Your personal retirement survey, you're going to be able to do that and see where you fall at, where you got to pick up at, where you fell behind, when do you want to start, how to get there. You're going to have a personal retirement research assessments. You're going to have homework. And it's going to be easy. I'm not going to give you anything hard. But after you go through this 4-day boot camp, you're going to really be aware of your dream retirement, your vision, how to plan it. Don't be back like the lady in Walmart that I saw the other day. She didn't even know when she was going to be able to retire. She was well past retirement age and still working. Do you think she loves her job? No, she's there because she can't do anything else. Her energy is gone. Her health is probably coming down. Her youth is gone, but she's still standing on somebody else's floor. And so that is not what I ever want for any of the women out there. So go to that link, bit.ly, so I can add you to the private group. It's bit.ly/RetireMe2021. If you've already retired, you still need to be in this boot camp. If you plan to retire in the next 5 to 10 years, you need to be in this boot camp because you could possibly go sooner. If you're already retired, but your husband, your mother still working, you can retire them. That's the great thing about real estate. It will retire you and your whole family. And it pays you forever and ever. And so real estate is creative. There's so many things to do when you're in real, whether you want rental properties, whether you want to flip properties. There's so many ways to get into real estate with other people's money little bit of money, your own money. We're going to cover some of those things in this class. And so again, this is Chiquita Lindsay. I will talk to you guys later. I'll be back a little later. Go to bit.ly, retire 2021. Ladies, it's Christmas. Give somebody a Christmas gift. Put them in this class so they can quit calling you and borrow money. So you can quit listening to them on they are not ever going to retire. They don't have enough money to pay they working paycheck to paycheck. Remember, real estate is for now and later. So I'll talk to you guys. Bye.